concrete, and then it will become a O-gauge spillway. Okay, and the shape of the O-gauge spillway, the upstream profile of the O-gauge spillway has been given by this equation. X is x to the power of n is equal to k hd to the power of n minus 1 into y. Okay, and k and n value uh, will taken as per the upstream side of the spillway, right? So we will see it, right? And the discharge through the O-gauge spillway can be calculated using this formula. Q is equal to CLEH to the power of 3 by 2. Q is discharge, L is effective length. What is effective length? Clear length is different and effective length is different. Say for example, clear length is the space between the two piers, and say for example there are six piers are there. If six piers are there, means uh, how many spans are there? Five spans are there. So each span is, say, let us say 10 meters. So the total length of the length of the spillway is 50 meters. Okay, and other side there may be between space between uh, pier abutment. That is a 10 meter, and other side also there is a 10 meters. So total is 70 meters. That is the uh, clear length of the spillway. But due to the end contraction, okay, at the if you see how flow takes place on the sill of uh, the spillway, so end contraction will be there. Because of that end contraction, a lot of turbulence and eddies will be generated. So that will reduce the clear length. So therefore, there is a formula to calculate the effective length. The clear length is the clear length is 70 meter. The effective length, because of these losses, it is less than the 70 meter. Okay, that will calculate. Hope you understand what is the clear length and what is the effective length, right? Uh, H is the total head over the crest, including the velocity head, and C is the coefficient of discharge, right? And so that is for uncontrolled spillway. If it is a controlled spillway, discharge formula is this: Q is equal to CDL square root 2GH. Okay. D is the shortest distance from the gate lip to the crest curve, and L is the crest width. H is the head over the spillway. So that is calculated from the center of the opening to the top of the water surface, and C is coefficient of discharge, right? So this is how to calculate the discharge. If it is a gated spillway, there is a formula is there. Ungated spillway, there is another formula is there, and profile of the spillway is also there. Formula is there. Okay, now we'll see one worked out example, so that will be very clear to you. Okay, design a suitable section for the overflow portion of a concrete gravity dam, having the downstream face sloping at a slope of 0.7 horizontal, 1 vertical, downstream side. Okay. The design discharge for the spillway is 800 cubics, sorry, 8,000 cubics. The height of the spillway crest is kept at 204 meters. The average riverbed level of the site is 100 meters. The spillway length consists of 6 spans having a clear width of 10 meter each. Okay. Thickness of each pier may be taken to be 2.5 meter. Okay. Assume the coefficient of discharge is 2.2. Okay. So this is the data given to you. Okay. Now, as I said, clear length Q formula, discharge formula is see for our what is main objective of this? What is main question is that you have to design the upstream side profile of the uh, gravity dam, overflow section of a gravity dam. So we have to design the O-gauge spillway. O-gauge spillway means profile design on upstream side, downstream side. Okay. So for that we know what is the formula. x to the power of n is equal to k y to the power of n minus 1 into d. Okay. Uh, uh, Sorry, is it correct? So x to the power of n is equal to 2 into h, sorry, k into h n minus 1 into y. So we should know what is the hd. Okay. So hd is what? Discharge over the spillway. If you know this value, and then we can calculate the x and y value. That is what you have to do in that question, right? So to calculate the hd, discharge is given. So this is the he, let us say he or hd. Okay. So here discharge is given, right? And the coefficient is given, and effective length, clear length is given, but you have to calculate the effective length. So these two values, if you know, then you can calculate he value, and he you can substitute in that equation, and that is a profile equation. S to the power of n is equal to k he to the power of n minus 1 into y. So then easily you can calculate the coordinates of the profile of the Ogi spillway. But here is uh, Q is equal to C L E H E to the power of 3 by 2. Okay. So we don't know effective length, but there is a formula to calculate the effective length. Okay. So effective length is equal to L minus 2 into N is equal to number of piers. K is the pier contraction coefficient. Ka is the abutment contraction coefficient into He. So if you can calculate effective length, and you can substitute here, and then you can calculate He, and you substitute He in that profile equation, and you will get the XY coordinates. But here, the problem here is that to calculate LE, He should also know. Okay. So how you can calculate the LE? Okay. So if we want to calculate the He, we should know LE. But to calculate the LE, He is also unknown here. Okay. So therefore, but there is a trial and error procedure is there. First, you have to assume some LE value. Okay. So L is what? Clear length. LE is what? Effective length. Okay. So which will be a more numerical value? Clear length is more, or effective length will be more? Hello?
Clear length.
Clear length will be more, obviously. Okay. Right. So here first, there is no way except for a trial and error procedure in this case. Right. So first we will assume effective length is equal to clear length. Okay. We will assume effective length is equal to clear length. Okay. Effective length is equal to clear length. Okay. What is clear length? 6 spans, each span 10 meters width. Okay. 60 meters. And then you substitute here in this equation, right? So we have assumed effective length is equal to clear length. So then 60, and substitute here 60. Q is equal to, we know, 8000. C is given 2.2, and LE is equal to, we are assuming it as a clear length 60, and HE. So we got HE now 15.5 meter. So that is the HE is the head over the sill of the Ogi spillway is 15.5 meter, right? Now, so that is an approximation. Okay, that is an approximation. So actually, you said that uh, effective length is less than the clear length. Okay, so when we assume effective length is equal to clear length, we got HE is equal to 15.5 meter. Okay, if you substitute the actual effective length, then HE will be more than 15.5 or less than 15.5. here in place of LE, we assume LE is equal to L. Okay. And then we have calculated HE. But we know LE is less than L. Okay. So therefore, if you substitute actual LE value, okay, then what could be the HE value? Is it more than this or less than this? I mean, more than 15.5 or less than 15.5?
More than.
Huh? సింపుల్ కదా నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి I think you are following my explanation. Okay, Q is equal to నాకేంటి కావాలి హెచ్ఈ కావాలి. ఓకే, హెచ్ఈ వస్తే అండ్ దెన్ నా ప్రొఫైల్ ఈక్వేషన్లో హెచ్ఈ పెట్టి XY కోఆర్డినేట్స్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తా, రైట్? సో హెచ్ఈ కావాలంటే క్యూ ఈజ్ తెలుసు, ఎస్సి తెలుసు, ఎల్ఈ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. ఎల్ఈ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలంటే మళ్ళీ దాని ఈక్వేషన్లో కూడా హెచ్ఈ ఉంది. సో ఐ కెనాట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ఎల్ఈ, బట్ ఏదో ట్రయల్ అండ్ ఎర్రర్ అయితే చేయొచ్చు. సో అందుకని ఫస్ట్ నేను ఏం చేశాను, ఎల్ఈని ఎల్ అనుకున్నాను. ఓకే, క్లియర్ లెంత్, ఎఫెక్టివ్ లెంత్ని క్లియర్ లెంత్ అనుకున్నాను, అంటే 60 మీటర్స్. సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే హెచ్ఈ వచ్చింది. హెచ్ఈ ఎంత వచ్చింది? 15.5 మీటర్. దాంట్లో ఈ ప్రొఫైల్ లొకేషన్లో పెట్టి నేను XY కోఆర్డినేట్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయొచ్చు. బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ దిస్ ఇస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్ కదా, ఎందుకంటే నేను ఎల్ఈని ఎల్ అనుకొని చేస్తే ఇది వచ్చింది. బట్ ఎల్ఈ ఎగ్జాక్ట్గా ఎల్ఈ కావాలి నాకు. ఓకే, సో ఎల్ఈ పెడితే హెచ్ఈ వాల్యూ పెరుగుతుందా తగ్గుతుందా? అది నా క్వశ్చన్. ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది కదా, డెఫినెట్గా. ఎందుకంటే ఎల్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ సి కాన్స్టెంట్ వదిలే, ఎల్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్యూ బై హెచ్ఈ టు ద పవర్ 3/2 కదా, అవునా? ఎల్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు, రైట్, సారీ, హెచ్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్యూ బై ఎల్ఈ, అంతే కదా. హెచ్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు క్యూ బై ఎల్ఈ హోల్ టు ది పవర్ ఆఫ్ 2/3 వస్తుంది, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, హెచ్ఈ పెరుగుతుంది. ఓకే, అవునా? సో ఇప్పుడు నేనేం చేస్తాను, ఎందుకు చేసి అంటే, ఎక్కడ అజ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటావు హెచ్ఈని? 1తో అజ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటావా, 2తో అజ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటావా, 3తో అజ్యూమ్ చేసుకుంటావా? సో దెర్ ఈస్ ఏ క్లెవర్ వే ఈస్, ఫస్ట్ యూ విల్ ఫిక్స్ ద హెచ్ఈ less than 15.5. That is clear now. Okay, అర్థమైందా? Yes. So HE cannot be less than this 15.5. Now I assume a HE value more than 15.5. Okay, so that is the clever way to assume. Okay, instead of a wild guess, assume 3 and check. If it doesn't come, then 4, 5, 6. So number of trials will be more to avoid that time and energy. So first I have calculated HE value, assuming LE is equal to L, 15.5 వచ్చింది. So LE is less than L, so therefore actual HE value is more than this. Okay, now I assume HE value more than 15.5 in this equation, and then you will calculate the LE value. Okay, LE is equal to L minus 2 n into Kp plus Ke kada. So I can assume 60, and then I have calculated LE. Say for example, that is one trial. Okay, and then you substitute LE value here, and you would assume HE value here, and check whether it is equal to Q or not. So that is the procedure. Got my point? Because HE is there in both the equation. So నేనేం చేస్తాను, now నాకు తెలిసిపోయింది కదా, HE cannot be less than 15.5. So then I will start assuming HE is equal to 16. Okay, 16 పెడతాను ఇక్కడ పెట్టి, and then LE క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, LE వస్తుంది కదా, ఆ LE వాల్యూని ఇక్కడ పెడతాను, HE assumed value 16 పెట్టుకుంటాను, and then I will calculate Q. If this Q is equal to 8,000, then our assumed HE value is correct కదా. procedure. Adi kadanko, then I will assume another value 16.5. I will repeat the procedure. Okay. So that's why first I have calculated this value. Now, if you do that one, if you assume 16.4, then LE is equal to 55.08. Okay. And now చూడు కావాలంటే 55.08 ఇక్కడ పెట్టి అజ్యూమ్డ్ ఎల్ఈ వాల్యూ ఎంత అనుకున్నాను నేను 16.4 కూడా ఇక్కడ పెడితే నాకు ఎంత వస్తుంది? సరే, టూ వే అలా అయినా చేయొచ్చు, అదర్వైజ్ ఇలా అయినా చేయొచ్చు. క్యూ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు 8,000, 2.2, ఎల్ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు యాజ్ పర్ దిస్ అజంప్షన్ 55.08 అండ్ హెచ్ఈ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయి 16.4. So it is assumed H is right. అర్థమైందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for that, I did like this. I hope you understood, right? So now I got H is 16.4. And then I will substitute H in that profile equation. You know the profile equation is equal. So the down upstream side is vertical. So therefore, n is equal to 1.85, k is equal to 2. So R and substitute cheste, x is equal to 1.85 is equal to 2 into h d to the power of n minus 1. 1.85 minus 1.85 into y. So y is equal to, so if you simplify, y is equal to x to the power of 1.85 divided by 21.6. Okay. So now this is the profile from e point నుంచి ఈ పాయింట్ వరకే మనం ఈ డిజైన్ చేయాల్సింది. ఓకే, కింద వరకు కాదు. సో డౌన్ స్ట్రీమ్ సైడ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఓకే ప్రొఫైల్ ఈస్ గివెన్ 0.7 horizontal, 1 vertical. Okay, so now we have to fix this point. The starting point we know C, and this point we have to fix. So this curve should meet this downstream profile tangentially. Okay, tangentially, right? So what is the downstream profile? dy by dx equal to ante 1 by 0.7. Okay, so vertical is 1, horizontal is 0.7. Okay, now you can differentiate this equation. Okay, dy by dx is equal to, okay, you differentiate this equation, then e y ni. Okay, so what I am trying to do is before we determine the various coordinates of the profile, we shall first determine the tangent point. This is the tangent point, last point, where this curve meets tangentially. Okay, so this point you have to determine, right? How you can determine? dy by dx should be equal to 1 by 0.7. Okay, so dy by dx is 1.85, x to the power 1.85 minus 1 by 21.6 is equal to 1 by 7. Okay, so అలా చేస్తే by x ఎంత వచ్చింది? 22.4 వచ్చింది. Now you substitute x value in that equation, you get y is equal to 14.6. So this coordinates is 22.6, 14. Y is equal to 14. 22.4x, y is equal to 14.6. Now in between 0 నుంచి 22 వరకు. Okay. So x value here 0, it is 22.4. Y value here is 0, here is 14.6. So in between we will calculate the coordinate points. Okay, so for different x value, simple ఈ equation ఉంది కదా. So for different x value, equation ఉంది కదా, for different x value calculate y. Okay, for x is equal to 1, this is the y value, 2, this one, like this. So if x is equal to 22.4 పెడితే you will get y is equal to 14.6. Right, so this is the how to design the upstream profile of the Ogi spillway. Okay. Sorry, downstream profile of the Ogi spillway. So similarly, there is an equation for upstream profile of the Ogi spillway. Okay, so this is the upstream curve of the Ogi spillway having vertical upstream phase is given. Okay, uh, y is equal to, so you remember this equation. Okay, and upstream profile extends up to 0.27 HD. So I will show you. So this one we will calculate this one. Okay, so this one. So for this one, equation is there. So for this value, so this value, it is 4.403. It is given here. 0.27 HD. HD is 16.4. So this is 4.443. Okay. So this value from the origin, okay, to this value 4.483. Okay. So in between you have to determine the coordinates, right? So this is the another coordinate system. So therefore for x is equal to minus 0.5, x is minus 1, minus 2, up ఎంతవరకు 4.43 వరకు. Okay, for different x value you will get the y value. Okay, సో సేమ్ ఈ ఈక్వేషన్ లో మీరు ఈ x values substitute చేస్తే you will get these y values, and then once you know the coordinates of the upstream profile and the downstream profile here, and you can join all those points. Okay, you will get the profile of the Ogi spillway here. Okay, so this is how we have to design the Ogi spillway. Is it okay?
Sir,
Cheppu.
in this question they have given 6 spans, sir.
Six
So
spans.
that number of pairs will be 7, no, sir?
No.
You have taken 5.
Huh? 6 spans.
5 is
6 spans including abutment. నేను ఫస్ట్ లో మీకు చెప్పింది డిఫరెంట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, రైట్?
yes, sir.
క్వశ్చన్ లో ఏమన్నాను చూడండి.
6 spans ఉన్నాయి, sir.
Yeah, 6 spans including abutment. Say, look at that. One abutment is left side.
And the
and
number of pairs should be 7, no, sir?
number of piers 5 కదా.
How, sir?
5 plus 2 7 అయితేనే కదా. 2 abutments 5 piers. అర్థం లేదా?
అర్థం లేదు, sir.
ఓకే, అబాట్మెంట్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా. నువ్వు అన్నది కరెక్టే, 7 6 స్పాన్స్ అంటే 7 ఉండాలి కదా అన్న. ఆ లాస్ట్ ని పీర్ అను అబాట్మెంట్ అంటాం. ఓకే
ఓకే సార్.
మధ్యలో ఉన్న వాటిని పియర్స్ అంటాం. ఓకే, సో దేర్ ఫోర్ 7 సపోర్ట్స్ ఉంటే లాస్ట్ సపోర్ట్స్ని అబాట్మెంట్ అంటాం, మధ్యలో ఉన్న సపోర్ట్స్ని పియర్ అంటాం. ఓకే, సో దట్ ఈస్ 5. ఓకే, అందుకే మనం ఇక్కడ 5 పెట్టాం. n is equal to 5.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
Okay, is it okay? Any question? Shall I move to the next topic? Okay. Next is the tooth spillway. This is the tooth spillway. When there is no space to construct a spillway in the body of the dam, or for earthen embankment is there, and then you cannot construct a spillway in between earthen and embankment. So there altogether you have to construct a spillway away from the body of the dam. So for that case, this is the suitable tooth spillway. Okay, so somewhere here embankment is there. So water will be released to the downstream side. Excess water will be released to the downstream from upstream away from the body of the dam. Okay. So this is called chute spillway. It is an open channel-like structure which is constructed on a steep slope of the gully face with a suitable inlet and outlet. It usually consists of an inlet, vertical curve section, steep slope channel, and outlet. Chute spillway are cheaper than a drop spillway as they require less construction material. Okay, so this is the mm, diagram. I mean, this is the chute spillway. Okay, so it will be like this. It has one inlet, okay, where water enters. I mean, there may be some crust is also there, and an outlet where they enter into a stilling basin, and between we have a channel section. Okay, so the design principle is design the inlet and design the outlet and design the channel section. Okay, inlet means what should be the length of the sill. Okay, and the channel section is what is the width of the channel, what should be the depth of the channel, what should be the freeboard, all those things. Okay, and stilling basin, stilling basin is there for what? To dissipate energy. Okay, a hydraulic jump will be created. Okay, and then what should be the length of the apron? Okay, so all those things we will design in the outlet. Okay, these are the three parts. One is design of inlet, and design of channel section, and design of outlet. Okay, so inlet can be designed using this formula. The hydraulic design of inlet involves the design of weir length. Okay, it is determined by using the weir formula. Okay, so what is, if you know the discharge surplus water coming into the spillway, and then you can fix the L length. Okay, so Q is equal to 2 by 3 CD square root 2Z L H to the power of 3 by 2. So if L is fixed, if you know head over the spillway, and if you know the Q, and then L can be calculated. Okay, and for conduit design, channel section, so it can be designed just like a design of a open channel flow. Okay, or you can design of a canal, how you can design the canal and open channel flow. Okay, similar way you can design the this conduit or chute discharge carrier. Okay, channel section using the Mannix formula. So there are two methods in the design of open channel. Method of economic section. What is method of economic section is when wetted perimeter is minimum, and that is called economical channel section. Okay, so I think you have studied this in your BTech. Okay, so for example, Q is equal to AV. Okay, what is V? V is equal to Mannix equation, that is 1 by n r to the power of 2 by 3 s to the power of half. R is what? A by P. If you substitute all those things, okay, and then you will get P is equal to K A to the power of 5 by 2. Okay, perimeter. So perimeter minimum undali, right? Then A is then it's called method of economic section. For example, you take a rectangular section where A is equal to P B into Y. P is equal to B plus 2Y. Wetted perimeter. B plus Y left side and Y another side. Okay. So P is equal to, okay. Now for perimeter should be minimum. So differentiate the perimeter with respect to Y. Okay. And you will get this equation. Y is equal to half B. Okay. For economical section, if your channel is a rectangular in shape, the width should be equal to twice the depth of the water. Or you can say the depth of water or depth of the canal should be half of the width of the canal for economical section. Okay. So like this, for different channel section, we have different equations. For a triangular section, okay, for trapezoidal section, okay, like this. So I will, so these are the for rectangular, y is equal to b by 2. For triangular, half horizontal vertical So one vertical, Z should be equal to 1. Okay, or subtended by the channel is 90 degree. Is a trapezoidal. So this is the condition. If it is a circular, so y is equal to 0.81d diameter. Okay, if it is a parabola, semicircular. So these are the conditions for trapezoid. I mean, for economical section. Okay, the procedure is simple. So calculate, uh, compute the section factor. So here Q is given, slope is given, and then you will get the AR value. Okay, from that another method of economic section equation, we know y is equal to b by t. You will get the another equation. By solving these two equations, you will get y and b value. Okay, and add some sufficient freeboard, right? If you get y is equal to, let us say, 1 meter, so 0.5 meter is the freeboard, then the depth of the canal should be 1.5, like that. Okay, this is the procedure. There is another method is there, permissible velocity method. Okay? Permissible velocity method uh, is for different material. So different permissible values V's are given. Okay. So there is a procedure. Just I will show you one worked out example. Say design a canal to carry a flow of 6.91 meter cube per second. The channel will be excavated through a stiff clay at a channel bottom slope. Okay. S is given, Q is given. Okay. Now you have to calculate the design the canal. I mean the channel. Okay, tube channel in our case. Okay. Q is given, S is given. Then what we should know, what you have to calculate, width of the channel and what should be the flow depth. Okay. So you first, because we know the material there, so N can be assumed, or you can take the standard value of N for a material there in the channel. And side slope, okay, if it is a 1:1, and permissible flow velocity is this one, then you can calculate A value. Okay, and A is equal to Q by V. A is equal to Q by V. Okay, Q is given 6.91, V we have assumed 1.8. Okay, then we will get the A value here. Okay, and substitute the value of V, substitute values for V. Okay, N and S in Manning's equation. Okay, so what is the Manning's equation? V is equal to 1 by N, R to the power of 2 by 3, S to the power of half. Okay, there V is assumed 1.8, N is known. Okay, and S is known. Then you will get R value in Manning's equation. R is equal to 0.713 meters. Okay, right? Then what is P? P is equal to, R is equal to what? A by P. P is equal to A by R. Then you will get the this one. Okay, what is P? P is equal to, okay, P is equal to uh, B plus 2y. B plus 2y. So B plus 2y is equal to 5.37, one equation. And another, A we got 3.83. So A is equal to what? B into Y is equal to 8.3.83. You will get another equation, right? So you substituting these two, solve this equation, you will get the B and Y value. Okay. Uh, so this is the way you have to design the uh, channel section. Okay. Is understood? Understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. See, like this, you will get one equation, B plus 2.3. This is one and this is one. Okay. And solving these two, you will get y is equal to 1.22. And if you substitute y is equal, and B also, we will get to 1.9 meter. Okay. Outlet. Outlet section. of chute is located at the downstream end. It is also called as a energy dissipator uh, because it dissipate the energy of falling water from higher to lower elevation by decreasing the velocity of flow. Thus, it protects the downstream air from the soil erosion. Okay. Uh, at the outlet section, energy dissipate on the concept of hydraulic jump. This hydraulic jump is the formed on the horizontal part of the basin. The fluid number of incoming flow into the outlet and corresponding downstream water depth should satisfy the following equation. Okay. Uh, so here, uh, a design of outlet section based on this hydraulic jump theory that we will discuss later. A stilling basin. Okay. Conjugated depth, say because a lot of potential energy uh, will be converted into kinetic energy, or the uh, supercritical flow is changed to subcritical flow, and then you will create an hydraulic jump. Okay, so that hydraulic jump will dissipate the energy in the water. Okay, so otherwise what will happen? So it will erode the soil in the downstream side. Okay, so the hydraulic jump theory will discuss in next class. So just for so the one question is this conjugated depths. So this is the depth of water before jump created, and this is the depth of water after jump created. F is the fluid number. If you know D1, D2 values, okay, and then we have curve style water curve and jump water curve, okay, that depend upon the curves, okay, and then we will design the stilling basin, okay, suitable stilling basin. So so this is about how we design the uh, inlet and trough section and chute section, and you can say channel section and the outlet. Okay. This chute spillway outlet may be include chute blacks, buffalo blacks, stilling basin, end sill, and sides. Okay. So this we will design next unit is there, hydraulic jump, all those things that there we will discuss in detail. Okay. So this is the chute spillway. Okay. Any question? Side channel spillway, I don't have figure, you can see in a textbook. Uh, Side channel spillway is it is like this. Water uh, spills over the spillway, okay, and then the channel will be I mean aligned parallel to the spillway, okay, parallel to the spillway. That is called side channel spillway. Okay, it is like this. Uh, a chute spillway, how the water flows perpendicular to the spillway, the channel move. The water flows perpendicular to the spillway. It spills over the spillway crest, okay, and then move straight. But whereas side channel spillway, after spilling over the spillway, it take 90 degrees and move downstream side and join the river. Okay, so that's why it is called side channel spillway. Okay, hope you got my point. Okay, after spilling over the spillway, it takes 90 degrees. 90 degrees means it's almost parallel to the spillway. Okay, and then join the river downstream side of the embankment. So that is a side channel spillway, right? Ada? Hello?
Yes.
అర్థమైందా అంటున్నాను. So this is about third unit, dam outlets, right? So next class we will discuss hydraulic jump. drilling basin, all those things. Okay. I will stop here. Hello.
Okay, sir.